Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our concert this evening. My name is Fritz Streif. I'm the music director here at Painesville United Methodist. And on behalf of the congregation, we're thrilled to have you with us tonight for our annual biggest concert of the year. A very, very special night for everybody that has been here before, and for those of you that this is a new experience for you. I know that this will not be the last time that you join us to hear Burning River Brass. It is a Christmas tradition here at the church, and it's always wonderful to have Heather Zweifel and the Burning River Brass with us. Before they come out for the program, I just wanted to share with you, we have some special concerts coming up. This is a part of a concert series, so we have 8 concerts throughout the year, and I would encourage you, if you enjoy music, that you would come back and see us again, and or to spread the word amongst those that might be interested in joining us. On March 9th, we'll be hosting Jody Dominic, who is a professional actress down at the Great Lakes Theater Festival and a friend of mine. Jody will be with us to present an evening of Broadway cabaret and Broadway music, and so we're thrilled to have Jody with us on March 9th to celebrate the music of Broadway. The Fine Arts Association will be performing a masterwork, on March 30th, so we'll look forward to that. Dennis Scott's coming back from Chicago again this year. He's going to be presenting another silent film, and of my tenure here at the church, I asked him to do a movie this year called College, which is, over the last 15 years, it's the favorite movie that I've seen that he's done. It features a lot of Buster Keaton physical comedy, and we put a big screen up, and we pop popcorn, and if you've not been to a silent film here at the church before, we'd encourage you to come back. It's going to be a great movie to join us for. And then we'll finish the season out with the Lake Effect Concert Band and the Polar Vortex Jazz Band, and they'll be featured over here in the park. So we'll celebrate some warm spring days and beautiful weather, hopefully, with a concert in the park. So we hope to see you then. Our concert series is sponsored through generous patrons, and they're listed in the program, both corporately and personally, and so we are very appreciative of everybody who's been able to make contributions. Tonight during the intermission, we will be passing the plate, and if you are able to make any contributions at all, we would greatly appreciate it. It allows us to then bring beautiful music here to our church, and also to the residents of Lake County to celebrate the gift of music that we all love and enjoy. So, as I said, if you're interested in being a patron, you can fill out this form and put it in the plate, or you can give us a check afterwards. Otherwise, as we pass the plate, whatever you're able to contribute is greatly appreciated toward the cost of tonight's concert. We are so blessed. Burning River Brass has a full week of concerts, and we are excited to have them with us again. If you would help me to welcome Burning River Brass.
Thank you so much. We are absolutely thrilled to be back here at Painesville United Methodist, one of the site of one of our very first concerts, so it's always such a joy to be back here, and especially at the holidays, and so we're very happy to see you all here as well. The first piece we played for you is, of course, O Come All Ye Faithful, or Adeste Fidelis, an incredibly popular carol. It's attributed sometimes to John Francis Wade, as it is in our program, but it actually has references all the way back to a 17th century king of Portugal, King John IV. So it's been recorded by many artists and different variations, but the most unique thing I think about it is that it inspired the lead singer for Twisted Sister to write, "We're Not Gonna Take It Anymore." We'll take you around the world this Christmas concert, and we're going to start with 3 carols that we have put together in Christmas around the world. The first is Rio Rio Chu, which is a traditional villancico tune, which comes from Spain, and the term villancico was originally attributed to any kind of rustic medieval refrain in a secular tune, but it actually eventually came to mean Christmas carol. This one tells the story of God's protection of a young lamb from a rabid wolf and parallels the Christmas story. Then we'll journey over to France for a Noel, which is a Christmas carol. This one is Joseph is Well Married. Joseph is well married to Jesse's daughter, Mary. This is a very popular tune with organists, especially those who also compose, like Charpentier and Balestre. And during midnight masses, where they had a little bit more freedom, they would take this main tune and do improvisations on it. And that's where Roger Harvey took his inspiration for our arrangement. And we'll end with an Aguinaldo, which is a Puerto Rican Christmas carol. A few years ago, we were very, very fortunate to get to travel to Puerto Rico for Christmas. It was very hard to come back home. And we had these 3 Puerto Rican Christmas carols arranged. We're going to play just this one for you. Similar to the word villancico, an Aguinaldo started as a refrain and ended up being a Christmas carol. In Puerto Rico, it's traditionally sort of given as a gift, with groups of musicians and singers traveling from house to house, particularly performed on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve and Day, and also on Epiphany. Here are 3 carols from around the world. Almost feels like we're in Puerto Rico, right? Just let it stay rain for now and not turn to ice, please, until we all get home tonight. Now we'll travel over to Germany. Hansel and Gretel was an opera written by Engelbert Humperdinck, but it started as a favor to his sister, Adelheid. She had written some songs, the words, for her children based on the Hans Christian Andersen, Brothers Grimm's, Hansel and Gretel stories, and she asked him to write the music. And this little project ended up becoming a full-scale opera. It was originally performed in 1893 at the Weimar Opera, and it was conducted by none other than Richard Strauss. It's a lovely and very fun opera, and the evening prayer is sung by Hansel and Gretel when they're lost in the forest. They say a prayer and ask for 14 angels to guard them while they sleep. Some 5 to 6 years before Gustav Holst wrote his masterpiece, The Planets, which was based on astrological and mystical symbolism, he wrote a very Christian work, a choral fantasy, originally for soprano, alto, tenor, bass choir with a sizable orchestra. And it was based on many old traditional carols, such as First Noel, Good Christian Men Rejoice, God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen. It was first performed in 1911 at Morley College, and it was apparently well received. The school newspaper even going so far as to call it delightful. We've had it reworked for brass, and we hope you enjoy it. Here is Christmas Day. I'd like to take this moment to start introducing you to our members, and since I have an admittedly slight bias, we always like to start with our trumpets. Just ignore the trombones for now, just ignore them. We have Neil Mueller from East Lansing, Michigan. Michael Tashone from Atlanta, Georgia. And Jason Covey from Washington, D.C. And I'm Heather Zweifel, and I'm also from Cleveland. It Came Upon a Midnight Clear is one of the more melancholy carols out there, and there's a very good reason for that. The words were written by a pastor, Edmund Sears. He had been pastor at a Unitarian church in Wayland, Massachusetts at the beginning of his career, and went on to a new town and a larger church. But after several years there, he suffered a breakdown, ended up returning to Wayland. And it was in this sort of mindset that he wrote the words to It Came Upon a Midnight Clear. Not only were his personal troubles weighing on him, but also revolution in Europe and impending war with Mexico and the United States. And he was very concerned that people had lost sight of the Christmas message. The music was later written by Storrs, who happened to be a pupil of Mendelssohn. And now our trombone players are going to play you a delightful rendition of It Came Upon a Midnight Clear. Our trombone players are Jeremy Moeller from Chicago, David Mitchell from Cleveland, playing trombone and euphonium, Lee Rogers from Washington, D.C., on the bass trombone from Minneapolis, Minnesota, Andrew Chappelle, and leeching on to that beautiful piece on tuba was Craig Sutherland from Rochester, New York. Before we get to the last piece on this half of the program, I did want to put in a personal plea for you to give as generously as you can to the collection that's about to come up. We certainly love coming here every year, and we have been coming here for many years. It's over 20, I think. It's been a very long time. But when we first started coming here, your pastor was Reverend Cowell. And for the first couple of years, we had a tradition of getting him to jump up and down because he was so excited about the size of the collection. And he's here tonight. So if you'd all like to see Reverend Cowell jump up and down, I hope you can give very generously. When we were starting to record our Christmas albums, we were looking for some new medleys, and we reached out to a good friend of ours named Dean Sorensen, and we asked him to take some classics like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and others, and just make a nice little melody for us. And this is what we got back. Season's Greetings.
when Heather was speaking, one of the words that she used to describe what people say about Burning River Brass is that it's delightful. I would use the word awesome. I would use the word grand and deep and profound and fun. What a great time it is to be together with the Burning River Brass tonight. I first heard them in 2016. Friends Al and Joan Phillips from Broadview Heights invited us to go hear this really cool brass band. I said, okay. So we went and we enjoyed in Tremont the brass band. What was neat then was that when I became pastor of the Mayfield Church, I found out that that's what they do every year. They go down to Tremont to listen to Burning River Brass. And I thought, boy, is that great. So we've had some good years with the Mayfield Church down at Tremont. And we have a bunch of Mayfield Church folks here. We welcome you. And then I got to come to Painesville, and Burning River Brass comes right here. And every year we enjoy it so much. So I want to ask just a couple questions, and then we'll be done with our intermission. How many of you are here for the first time tonight for the Burning River Brass? All right. Welcome. It's so good. I hope that you are enjoying it as I did the first time I heard them. How many have heard the Burning River Brass 5 times? Okay. How many of you have been at a Burning River Brass concert 10 times or more? Look around and just see how many years you have enjoyed the beauty of this band. They are generous in sharing their talents, and we are the beneficiaries of that generosity of spirit that they share with us with their skill and the beauty of their instruments is something that we can respond to with the deep generosity of our own. So as I ask the ushers to come forward to receive this evening's offering, give as you are able or as you choose, but know that generosity of spirit characterizes this whole season. So may God be with you in the giving of these gifts for the benefit of the Burning River Brass that have blessed us this evening. Thank you.
The Nutcracker premiered at the Mariinsky Theater in St. Petersburg, Russia in I forgot. Long time ago. It eventually made its way to Europe and the United States in the 1940s, where it was first performed in a full-length production by the San Francisco Ballet. Now, we've all played a lot of Nutcrackers. I think between all of us, it's in the thousands, but rarely do the brass take the forefront all the time. So we're going to play two more movements for you, the Arabian Dance and the Trepak. I think it's time to address the elephant in the room. We've been getting a lot of questions, I'll be honest with you, about where Fezza is. And I don't know if you know this, but Fezza has always been quite a bit older than me. And I like to remind him of that daily, actually. And it was getting, he's getting up there, and so I just decided to trade in for a younger model. We have Dylan Moffat from Cleveland joining us. We're very grateful. It is completely a joke. We're fine, he's fine, everything's fine. John Rutter is certainly one of the most beloved Christmas carol writers of his generation and many others. He was born in 1945 and attended Clare College, Cambridge for his musical training. He writes orchestrally, instrumentally, chorally, you name it, he's done it. And it's very hard to hear any sort of Christmas concert without at least hearing one of his works. We're going to play two for you, the Star Carol and his Christmas Lullaby. You can get an idea of how well known he is, not only in the United States, but his native England, when you think about the fact that in 2011 he was commissioned by the Crown to write This Is the Day for the Wedding of Prince William and Kate Middleton. The 12 Days of Christmas is, of course, a classic describing ever more exorbitant and extravagant gifts being given on the 12 days of Christmas, starting on Christmas Day and proceeding forward. The words first appeared in the 1780s children's book called Mirth Without Mischief. I'm sure you all have a copy on your bookshelves. It was entitled The 12 Days of Christmas at King Pepin's Ball. This version is a little different. I first heard it and asked our arranger, Dean Sorensen, to copy or mimic. I shouldn't say copy, bad word. Strike that. We're just going to cut that from the podcast. I never said copy. I wasn't here. Pay homage to a version done by the Swingle Singers. When You Wish Upon a Star, of course, first was performed in the film Pinocchio. It was wildly popular, and Disney recognized its greatness right away, it later becoming their very own theme song. It won the Academy Award in 1940 for Best Original Song. The entire score also won Best Original Score, and it is a piece that I think everyone recognizes and is near and dear to our hearts. Now, I don't think as Americans we necessarily associate it with Christmas, although Disney did put out a special in 1958 where they used it as the theme song. But actually, in Nordic countries, it has become a Christmas carol tradition, where they've slightly adapted the words to be talking about the Star of Bethlehem rather than Pinocchio's star. Here's our version of "We Wish When You Wish Upon a Star." Before we get to the last piece on the program this evening, I'd like to take this opportunity to once again thank you for coming out. We'd like to thank Painesville United Methodist Church, Fritz Strife, Pastor Walker. Christmas time happens every year. I always forget to introduce our horn players, so I'd like to go ahead and do that right now. We have Chris Comer from New York City and Miami. He's quite cosmopolitan. And Molly Pate from New Orleans. If you're not tired of Christmas brass, we do have a few more concerts, as Fritz mentioned. We are tomorrow at Bath United Methodist Church, no, Bath UCC, sorry. On Friday, we are in St. Wendelin under the auspices of Arts Renaissance Tremont. On Saturday, we're at Worcester United Methodist in the afternoon, and Faith in North Canton. You might know the pastor there. He's a Calb. And then on Sunday, we'll be in Port Clinton. You can actually, this is how I know it's the holidays, because yesterday our website went down. But right now it's up there. There's one page up there that has all these concerts listed. It's long, but hopefully easy to remember. It's burningriverbrass.com. So they're all listed there, and you can find them, and hopefully that will be up and running soon. If you would like to keep track of us, look at our CDs, all those things will be up and running shortly or next year. So we always talk about this piece, how special Christmas time was for me as a child, because there was one great thing about it, is that there were all these great holiday cartoons on. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Frosty the Snowman. And I know I was mentioning how much younger I was earlier, but I will confess that we didn't have streaming or DVDs or VHS or Betamax. And so there was one time of year where you could watch these cartoons and you got to stay up late, even if it was a school night. So a few years ago, we asked our friend Anthony DiLorenzo to put these all together into a wonderful medley for us, which we love playing. And if you think that there was never a better Grinch than Boris Karloff, you're going to love this just as much as we do. On behalf of everyone here, I'd like to extend to you our happiest wishes for the holidays and all the best in 2025. Wow. Thank you so much. you.